Hey gang, it's Mike from PowerBI.tips. Today I've got a quick tutorial for the new October release of Power BI Desktop. So let's get into it. I'll go hit Open Power BI Desktop, and what you'll see here is we get a brand new splash screen for Power BI Desktop right here. And once we have the screen open, you'll notice that there's a new landing page, Add Data to Your Report. And there's another option here that says Try a Sample Dataset. So if you click Try a Sample Dataset, you can click Load Data here. If I click Load Data, it automatically goes into Power Query and starts asking for a financials Excel sheet where there's two options. You can pick the financials tab and hit load or transform data. But because I'm curious to figure out how this works, I kind of went into transform data. And what you'll find here is the query editor will open. I'll bring it down here to the main screen. And you'll find here under the source that this is just from an Excel file. So up here we can see in the menu at the top, this is just simply an Excel file. See Program Files, XLSX. So interestingly enough, we can go figure out where this file lives. So I'm going to grab everything except for the file name itself, copy that. I'm going to get a new window going here. We'll drop that in, and boom, here we go. Financial sample. So we can actually open this file up. So if I double click the file, it'll actually bring it open inside Excel here for me. And here we go. There's the data. You can actually modify this data if you'd like and then save the file. But I found there's a little bit of a trick to this. So I'm going to close this file out. I'm going to minimize some things here so we don't have them in our way. And what I'll do instead is I'll grab the file here from the folder where it was located under my username, Microsoft Desktop, bin, and sample data. I'm going to copy that information. So just copy this, and I'm going to paste it down here to the desktop. So once I have it here, I can now modify the file. So we can double click this file now, and we'll be able to go back in and see how it works. We just have a simple table here. So if I go up to the top of this page, you can see this is a table that's been formatted with a bunch of data for us already. This is nice, but I don't really understand this data set, and it's technically not in a star schema, so I can't do facts and dimensions like I normally would in a data model. Maybe I'm doing tutorials. A lot of times I'm just going through random data pieces. I'll get a challenge. I'll need to make up some data, and from that made up data, I'll need to be able to build a data model around it so I can test out a visual or something that I'm going to be building. So a lot of times I bring a data set, or I have a data set that I like and that I may reuse multiple times. So I want the fastest way to get into that data set when I'm doing some prototyping or something along those lines. So what I found you can do here is we can just add a new tab, and I have some predefined data that I've already built that I'm going to reuse. So I'm going to grab this table here, I'm going to paste it into this Excel sheet. I'm going to open this up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Let's actually open all of them up. There, now they're all the right size. Control A, select all the items. We're now going to format this as a table. And then I'll just let it select the name range there. And now instead of just leaving it name table 2, I want something descriptive of this one. So this may be like my fact underscore sales table. And if I leave it as fact sales, this is something I can then use later on to see if that table name will show up for me later on. So I'll hit enter. That'll make that table name. Now, because I'm going to try to do this with a star schema, I want some actual information that tells me about these product IDs and these location IDs. So I've also made up some data to match those as well. So I go over here, copy in some more data. Once we copy in the additional data, we will then format as table. Table has headers, yes. And now for this one, this is my product ID information. So I'll say dim underscore product, and that'll be my dimension table for all of my product pieces. I mean, I could have any number of columns here that I wanted, but for now, just wrote a quick name in here, just to make sure that you can see that this in fact does link to the product IDs that we have in the product column. And for my final one, I'll do a location ID as well. So I'll go grab that information, copy it out of my demo workbook, put it in here. So I have another column here for different locations, there's different state IDs. We can select that. Again, format as table. My table has headers. And then I'll say dim underscore location and enter. So now I've got 3 more tables here that are all linked up. They've got tables associated with them, so it'll be easy to bring it into Power BI Desktop. What I'll do is I'll just save the file. So the financial samples XLSX file is saved. And now what I'll do is I'll just copy this one. I'll copy the whole file, and I'm going to go paste it back into the location where Power BI will be looking for this file. So paste it here. I'm just going to say replace the file. Once I've replaced this file, I can then close that back out, and I'm actually going to go back to Power BI Desktop. And because I want to start over again, just to show you that it's all working, I'm going to cancel out of everything here. I'm not going to save, not going to make any changes, and I'm not going to save my file. Now what I'll do is I'll go back into Power BI Desktop. It'll then reload the initial screen and bring me back into that landing page where I have all the information that I need to be able to start with my data set. And here we go, we have Power BI Desktop loaded. So once we have the loaded desktop again, we have the same initial, add some data to my report. So I'm going to say try a sample data set. Then I will go to load data again. And now this time, while it establishes a connection to the Excel file, you'll now notice we have a lot more options. I have 6 options now that I can go pick. Now, because I actually designed my data in a way that has the fact table names, column names, that are matching the dimension column names, which you'll see here in a moment, I'll add the fact sales, the dimension product, and the dimension location. Grabbing these 3 tables, I can now hit transform data. You'll see now that it will bring in all the information for me automatically in here. And one thing I did notice about this, like when this process is happening, there is no additional steps made here in the source navigation. So you'll notice here it says all the data type for each column is unknown. So one thing I do like to do to make sure I have all the column names selected properly, I will select all the columns, and then I'll go to the transform button, and I'll just hit detect data type. So it actually applies data types for me. So I'll do that real quick here just to make sure that I've got a good schema here on top of everything that I'm having in my dimension tables. Grab those, detect data types. Okay, now that I have all my data types, I will now go back to the home ribbon, click close and apply, and it'll then load my data to the data model. Now the neat part about this is Power BI will auto detect column names that are named the same between 2 different tables and try to make relationships for you. So just because I added the tables, it automatically gives me a star schema model here already. So I have now 2 dimension tables that now filter down to my fact table. And then what I can do here for proper model design, I can come in here and just hide the product IDs in the fact table because I wouldn't want to show those. I can also hide them in my dimension tables because, again, they're not really needed. They're just linking between the 2 tables. And now I've got a very clean model where I have dates, sales, states, and names of products. And I'm easily able to get in here and just start building stuff. So by setting this up, next time I want to do some samples or some trials, it's very easy for me to come in here and start automatically dropping in visuals and calculations and start testing things that I want to on a data set that I'm familiar with. So just a little tip and trick there for you. Happy for the new October release. Hope you found this trick informative. Please be sure to like and subscribe to all the things at PowerBI.tips on YouTube, and follow us on our website, PowerBI.tips. Thanks.